Am I the a-hole for teaching my son a lesson and sending him to live with his mom after he claimed household chores are only for women? I, 35M, have a 16-year-old son with my ex-wife, 35F. We had him young, barely out of high school. We were neighbors growing up, and a fling led to her pregnancy. Our parents, who were very controlling, insisted we get married. They pushed traditional gender roles. I worked while she stayed home. To put it bluntly, my ex and I didn't love each other. We weren't openly hostile, but we coexisted rather than lived as a couple. Eventually, she cheated, which turned out to be a blessing in disguise. It gave us both the courage to break free from our parents' control. We divorced 2 years ago, and oddly enough, we've become friends since then. Credit to her, though. She was an excellent homemaker and a phenomenal mom. After the divorce, I realized how much work it takes to maintain a household. I had to teach myself basic tasks like cooking and cleaning, and it was humbling. A few weeks ago, I was ironing clothes and suggested my son learn how to do it, explaining how important it is to be self-sufficient. He scoffed and said he didn't need to. When I pressed him, he made a comment that shocked me. Household chores are a woman's job. Only weak men do that kind of stuff. I was stunned. I asked if he thought I was weak, and he just shrugged. I told him to think carefully about what he said next. He doubled down, saying he'd never be the kind of man who does women's work. That was the final straw for me. I told him if he believes that nonsense, he could pack his bags and live with a woman, his mom. I wasn't tolerating that kind of disrespect or toxic mindset in my house. At first, he refused to pack, so I packed for him. He tried backtracking, but I was firm. He must have called his mom because she rang me while I was driving him to her place. I explained what happened, and surprisingly, she was on my side. She agreed that this attitude needed to be addressed and promised to teach him some responsibility. For the past 2 weeks, he's been living with her and learning how to handle basic chores. He's apologized repeatedly and asked to come back home. His mom and I agreed he'd stay with her until after the holidays. Then, he can return with a clearer understanding of what it means to contribute to a household. When I told friends about this over Christmas, they said I was too harsh and an AH for uprooting his life like that. Now I'm second-guessing myself. ITA.